What's up, everybody? It's Super Bowl Sunday, and we got a quick video hitting you with all the quick facts that you probably don't know about or haven't heard, or at the very least are interesting talking points for the coming Super Bowl. Let's get it started. This is Perspective Reports, your world strategize. Let's do it! Next, the guy who runs Perspective Reports. We got some great stories for you. Let's just jump right into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is religion, the Vatican, the Pope. That's right. Check the history books, folks. In 2005, we got a new Pope. The Seahawks, they went to the Super Bowl. They lost, of course, to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but in 2013, Pope Francis was elected new Pope. The Seahawks, they went to the Super Bowl again, and they won against the Denver Broncos. And now in 2025-2026 season, we have the new Pope Leo, and like clockwork, here are the Seattle Seahawks again. 3 new popes, 3 Seahawks Super Bowls. Will they win? We'll see. The conspiracy theory that I'm going to go with is that the Seahawks are behind the demise of all the popes, because that's the only way they get to the Super Bowl. Seriously, look it up. As far as who's going to win, I honestly have no dog in the fight. I'm a Bears fan anyway. I just hope they don't move out of Chicago. I was speaking to my father and my sister earlier, and they are also in the same vibe. They all just are happy that there's no Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but hey, I don't mind the Chiefs winning, but it'll be interesting to see, you know, what this new era of a non-Taylor Swift Super Bowl will be like. I don't know if we're used to it or if we're ready for it, but we'll see. Hawks have to take out popes just to get to the Super Bowl. There are other bigger stories happening, like the substation underneath Levi Stadium. That's right, in case you haven't heard the substation conspiracy. Here's the reality. Levi Stadium sits directly next to a massive, humming electrical substation. It is a beast, and all week long, the buzz has been about the electromagnetic interference. Now, why does this matter? Well, it's because this year, the NFL debuted their new Sony coach-to-player headsets, and that means you have to watch the sidelines today. If you see a coach suddenly rip his headset off and throw it to the dirt in the middle of a play, that's not anger, that's the interference screaming in his ear. If you see Sam Darnold or Drake May shaking their helmets like their heads are about to explode, you know the conspiracy is true. We are talking about phantom whistles, static feedback, and plays getting lost in the electric hum. If the comms go down in the 2-minute warning, don't blame the tech support, blame the power grid. Also, some people think it gets the players injured, but, you know, it hasn't been substantiated. Anyway, let's get into the technology theme. We have the death of the chain gang. RIP, but not really. I mean, it just means the chain gang will not be the only thing relied upon for things like spotting the ball when it's down, or giving a first down, or other things like that. Because now we have Sony's VAR system finally making it to the Super Bowl. This is the NFL embracing the future. The NBA uses it for their skeletal tracking. MLS has been using it for years now. Obviously, in Europe, they have a bunch of VAR they've been doing all over for soccer. Now, football in America is catching up. The generous spot is gone. You know those moments on 3rd and short where the ref kind of eyeballs it and gives the running back a friendly extra inch? It's over. It's done. The system tracks 29 distinct points on the player and the ball to the millimeter, and it is cold. It is precise. And in a game where the spread is tight, that precision matters. Expect way more 4th and inches situations today because the human error and the human mercy has been erased. Thank goodness. All right, let's take a step back from all the technology and the robots that will be deciding the game and talk about the future stars. Everybody talks about Florida or Texas when it comes to pumping out NFL talent, but let me introduce you to East Bay, East Palo Alto, right outside the Stanford campus. This city is only 2.5 square miles, yet it has 8 current NFL players. That is the highest per capita in the league. We're talking about guys like Mekhi Blackmon and the Wright brothers. But the problem was the field at their local middle school that is the hotbed of where these future NFL talent come and play, Los Robles Ronald McNair Academy. It was just a disaster. It was full of potholes, and Mekhi Blackmon even said he wishes he had a better field growing up. It might have saved him from some knee injuries. So the Bay Area Host Committee stepped up. They unveiled a brand new turf field this month. It's a massive investment in the next generation. City leaders say this project was in the works for 6 years. That's right, they were working on this for 6 years, but it was the Super Bowl that brought in the financial support to make it happen. It is now open for school kids and the public in East Palo Alto. So while we watch the pros today in the Super Bowl, the next Devontae Adams is probably running routes on that new turf in East Palo Alto right now. Shout out to the Bay Area. Keep going, y'all. Probably the best story leading into the Super Bowl had nothing to do with anything on the field. Just a heartwarming moment, and it was between Dave Stevens and Jack Gibbons. It was during the opening night of the press event for the Super Bowl. There was a reporter named Dave Stevens. Dave is a legend. He's covered 14 Super Bowls. he's worked at ESPN for over 20 years. He was also born without legs. He was down low on the ground during the press event trying to get interviews, and players, they were just walking around him, towering over him. They were probably just doing their thing. They didn't realize. And then came along Jack Gibbons. Jack is a linebacker for the Patriots. He's not a superstar. He was literally undrafted, yet he knows what it's like to be overlooked. He saw Dave, and without saying a word, Jack just sat right down next to him, and right there on the concrete floor, they had an interview. And literally Dave joked, "You're probably not normally on your butt, right, Jack? You're usually knocking quarterbacks on theirs." And in that moment, we saw two guys who are used to just fighting for everything they have, meeting on the same level. It went viral for a reason. It reminded us that underneath the helmets and the hype, there are just real human beings playing this game. So let's end this video. Thank you all so much for watching. But before we go to the kickoff, let's talk about the real score of the game, the money. While the Seahawks and the Patriots fight for a ring, the economy is fighting for its life. We dug into the data for Super Bowl 60, and the numbers are just ridiculous. We are projecting $20.2 billion in total consumer spending just today for Super Bowl Sunday. Americans are going to eat 1.5 billion chicken wings in the next 4 hours. If you lined those chicken wings up, they would circle the earth 3 different times. And that 30-second commercial that you're about to see, that cost $10 million. That is $330,000 per second. And they say we can't end homelessness. There are only 65,000 people in this building for the Super Bowl this year at Levi Stadium because they cut capacity for the media, and the cheapest ticket to get in the door was $4,200. So whether you're sitting in the $30,000 seats, avoiding the substation static, or you're on the couch eating one of those billions of wings, you are part of the most expensive day in American history. Well, until next year, enjoy the consumption. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy the day with friends or family or by yourself, whoever you are watching this with, and let's see who wins. Honestly, if you're asking me who I think is going to do it, Drake May, Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith and Jigba, there's a lot of great players. Here are my people to look out. All of the eyes are going to be on guys like Drake May, Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith and Jigba, but these are the players that I think you should look out for, especially if you're into that betting over under. I'm looking at Hunter Henry, the tight end for the Patriots. I think he's good for a touchdown, especially with good weather. Same for Keyshawn Bout. He's a receiver for the Patriots who actually has a lot more touchdown receptions than even Stephon Diggs. Also, I think for the Seattle Seahawks, their running back, Kenneth Walker III, I think he's up for having a great game today. The underrated Seattle Seahawks running game. He's been a beast in the playoffs. He had already 4 touchdown rushes during the playoffs, so I think he's up for a touchdown himself. Also, look out even for Stephon Diggs. I think Drake may also have a rushing touchdown, but I think it's going to come down to the passing games, and I'm telling you, Jackson Smith and Jigba and Cooper Kupp for Seattle, they got some dogs out there. So happy Super Bowl, enjoy the day guys, and we'll see you in the next one later. The Bad Bunny halftime show, that's going to be awesome. Stay tuned for a video about that because I'm telling you, that is going to be a great show. All right, adios.